Welcome back, everybody. Glad to have you joining us in group this week. Now, this is the part of group where we usually focus on a fun question that helps us break the ice and get to know one another better. But this week's question, it's a little more serious. But I hope it starts some great conversation for you. So, get ready to press pause. Here's your opening question. Now, this week's 5G discussion is going to be about the area of growth. Now, a few weeks ago, Kelly talked about this area, and he led us to have a discussion about a few specific areas that most Christians use to help them grow to be more like Jesus: prayer and Bible reading. And both of those are really two sides of a conversation. See, in prayer, I speak to God, and I share with Him what's going on in my heart and in my life. In Bible reading, I listen to God as He speaks to me through His Word. Talking and listening, well, they're essential in a relationship. And it's no different in our relationship with God. Now, most of the time when I've had a discussion like this in a group setting, most people admit they're not as consistent in these areas as they'd like to be. And mostly we just feel guilty about it. We say we'll try harder. We fail again, and we feel more guilty. And what good does that do, right? So right up front, let me just say, if you're not as consistent in prayer and Bible reading as you'd like to be, don't feel guilty and don't beat yourself up about it. You're definitely not alone. But at the same time, I can tell you why probably 99% of you are inconsistent. You don't have a plan that works prayer and Bible reading into the rhythm of your daily life. See, there's a difference between having a goal and having a dream. A goal is a dream that has a plan. Most Christians just have a dream or these good intentions to pray and read their Bibles. But most don't really have a plan for it, which means it's not a goal yet. It's still just a dream. So if you want to get this done, it's time to turn your dream into a goal and make a plan for it. When will you pray and read God's Word in your day? What activities and rhythms in your day will you change or rearrange? Can you team up with another person and do it together? Because it won't just happen because you want it to. It requires a plan that works for you. So let's talk about this area of growth using the questions that will be on your screen. And if you're already doing this, we'll share your plan with the group and help each other. You know, I thought the lesson that we learned from James on Sunday was a particularly difficult one to swallow. Now let's read it together from James chapter 4. What causes fights and quarrels among you? Don't they come from your desires that battle within you? You desire, but do not have. So you kill, you covet, but you cannot get what you want. So you quarrel and you fight. See, the hard truth is this: when I wind up fighting with people and getting angry at them, it's not them, it's me. Now, of course, that doesn't mean other people don't do wrong things. It doesn't mean I wasn't treated unfairly. What it means is that the source of the anger and the conflict that grows inside of me comes from my desires. I wanted something and I didn't get it. And trying to change the other person or control the circumstances still won't make me happy. If I'm ever going to get to the root of the issue and work through it, I first have to wrestle with this truth. What is it that I want that I'm not getting? It's like I've said to my kids before when I hear them say things like, "You make me so mad," or "She just makes me so angry." Actually, that's not true. Other people don't make me mad. I make me mad. See, anger is a response that I choose for myself. And it's not to say that anger isn't appropriate sometimes, but it's still a choice. So when there's a fight, a conflict, or a quarrel between me and someone else, the best question for me to ask, if I want to move past this, is, well, what is it that I wanted that I didn't get? See, answering that question will begin the process of moving past the anger and resolving the conflict. And once I begin to do that, then I'm ready for the next part of the solution that James offers in verses 2 and 3. He says this: "You do not have because you do not ask God. When you ask, you do not receive because you ask with wrong motives, that you may spend what you get on your pleasures." See, instead of trying to squeeze my happiness and my fulfillment out of another person to get what I want from them, James suggests that we ask God for what we need. And when we ask, we should make sure that our motives are pure, not selfish or vengeful or vindictive. We should ask humbly, knowing that God's a perfect Father who knows what's best for us. See, I can live a life of trust in God, knowing that He will take care of me rather than forcing other people to give me what I want, because that's a life that will always leave us angry and frustrated. Now, like I said, this is a tough teaching, especially if you've been hurt by another person. But in the end, it really is the path back to wholeness and healing, and it's a path worth walking. So here are some questions to get you started talking about this. See you next week.